Because in reality, despite what we see in popular culture, where we're so used to like the ingenious detective or the CSI tech solving a case, in reality, like homicide cases are usually solved because there's a witness and that witness is willing to testify. And in Nueva Suyapa, people weren't willing to do that. I mean, first of all, because they were scared. And second of all, because they didn't trust the shoddy criminal justice system I just described to actually follow through and incarcerate the people they were scared of. So that's really what Kurt and Carlos set out to solve. And their idea, which I think was quite ingenious and bold, was to hire on their own accord a private eye, a lawyer, and a psychologist to start solving murders and other serious crimes. And, that isn't something that private citizens typically do. But once you realize that solving murders usually boils down to just finding a witness, convincing the witness to testify, and keeping them alive, you realize you don't need a badge to do that. And that's really what they set out to do on the one hand. And then the other piece was like the cops didn't know who the culprits were, what they looked like, or where they lived. So this group of people that they hired, the sort of PIs for poor people, was able to gather all that information and bring witnesses and intelligence about the gangs to the cops. And then when the cops would say, great, like we want to make this arrest, but don't have a car, this secret group, as it was originally called, would say, don't worry, like we'll rent you a car, we'll gas it up, and we'll take you to where you need to be to make the arrests. And that's what they start doing. And as you know, have a pretty amazing amount of success.